This is the GIS Evening Report for Friday, May 31st, 2024. I am Sherry-Ann Noel. In the headlines, Grenada signs on the Build Back Equal project designed to reduce barriers to women's economic empowerment. Details of this story and more after the break.
The Royal Grenada Police Force and the National Disaster Management Agency remind all citizens that the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources has issued a no burning notice, which means that no one is allowed to light fires at any location throughout the state of Grenada. Engaging in setting of fires on any land under this act shall be liable to a fine of $500 or 3 months imprisonment. Please be vigilant and report any occurrences of fires as we aim to keep the nation safe during this severe dry season. Fires can cause millions of dollars in property damage and loss of lives. Let us all be responsible and play our part in minimizing wildfires as best as possible. Remember, it only takes one spark to ignite.
Welcome back. Signatures were affixed to the Build Back Equal project, a partnership between the Government of Grenada through its Central Statistics Office and UN Women during a media launch at Parliament House on Friday. The project will run from May 2024 to September 2025. The Build Back Equal program, which is led by UN Women with support from Global Affairs Canada, aims to reduce barriers to women's economic empowerment and improve sustainable opportunities for women's economic growth. Signing on behalf of the government was Mrs. Marina Jessime, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for economic development, planning and cooperatives, and focal point for UN Multi-Country Sustainable Development Cooperation. Also signing was Tony Ann Broadber, Head of Office, UN Women Multi-Country Office Caribbean. Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Honorable Gloria Thomas, said UN Women has been a steady partner for Grenada, in particular the Ministry of Gender Affairs.
This visit to Grenada by this distinguished delegation comes following the 4th SEEDS meeting in Antigua, as well as the Gender Equality Forum, where we discussed the way forward to ensure a gender transformative, resilient future for small island developing states, in which all human beings can fulfill their fundamental rights and freedoms. At that forum, we experienced together the impact that a weather system could have on the lives of our citizens, even when there are well-made-out plans. UN Women has been a steady partner for Grenada, especially the Division of Gender and Family Affairs.
PS Marina Jessime says the agreement is another important step in strengthening SDG 5 monitoring in Grenada.
The outcome of this project will strengthen the capacity to produce data on SDG 5, gender equality, and in particular, the Sustainable Development Goal targets on 5.2 and 5.3, which I mentioned before. The outputs will be, so what will we receive from it? Improved capacity to produce and use administrative data on violence against women and girls, improved capacity to produce and use data on unpaid care and domestic work. UN Women is always a partner, and a very strategic partner to be exact. We receive support from the Women Count Global Program on gender data. We receive support from the Build Back Equal initiative on women's economic empowerment. And today, I am very proud to say that the Grenada Statistical Office is developing a national guidelines and protocols on the collection and use of administrative data on violence against women and girls. We continue to pilot the measurement of the indicator as it relates to 5.41.
Aishua Lehen, Deputy Representative, UN Women Multi-Country Caribbean, highlighted some of the barriers that the Build Back Equal project will address.
Access to financing. The program aims to increase access to innovative financing and expand market access for women entrepreneurs. Financial institutions will increase their capacity for gender lens investing, which is an approach that prioritizes investment in enterprises that offer products or services that substantially improve the lives of women and girls, that promotes workplace equity in their staffing, in their management, in their boardroom representation, and along their supply chain. And it also prioritizes investments in women-owned or women-led enterprises.
Connie McQuilkin, Deputy Labour Commissioner, spoke to the strengthening of Grenada's legal framework to address gender gaps in legislation as it relates to social protection framework.
In pursuit of this objective, my ministry eagerly anticipates receiving support in strengthening Grenada's legal framework to address gender disparities in legislation within the social protection framework. This Build Back Equal program, this initiative, we truly welcome it. Any program that would make it easier for women in Grenada, especially those marginalized, to access subsidized care, reliable sexual and reproductive health services, support against gender-based violence, as well as helping to use new financial and digital technology and adopting environmentally friendly business practices to make the economy stronger is one that we would readily support.
The Build Back Equal project agreement will allow for access to significant financial and technical support in the collection of timeless data on the island. The Criminal Procedure Code Amendment Bill 2024, Firearms Amendment Bill 2024, and Education Amendment Bill 2024 are among bills to be presented when the House of Representatives and Senate meet next week. The public is being invited to witness the debates live at Parliament Building at Mount Welldale when the House meets on June 4th and 5th and Senate meets on June 6th and 7th. The Criminal Procedure Code Amendment Bill 2024 seeks to amend the Criminal Procedure Code to extend the categories of offences in respect of which a magistrate shall not admit a person to bail, to include offences under the Firearms Act, which are punishable by imprisonment for a term of 5 years or more. The Firearms Amendment Bill seeks to amend the Firearms Act to increase the penalties in respect of the commission of all firearms-related offences under the Principal Act. And the Education Amendment Bill seeks to amend the Education Act to increase the compulsory school age for children from 16 years to 17 years inclusive. Members of Parliament will also give updates on the constituencies and government's last 2 years in office. We take a break, more news when we return.
Grenada, this is your time to engage the Cannabis Working Committee on their role in shaping government's policy on the way forward for the cannabis industry. Tune in to your favorite current affairs channel, radio or social media platform on June 3rd from 8 p.m. Putting the policy plans under the microscope. Hear their mandate, ask your questions. The national panel discussion on the potential of the cannabis industry, medicinal benefits, economic growth, social justice, health and safety. June 3rd from 8 p.m. The airwaves will come alive. It's your time to have your say.
Welcome back. Grenada will host the inaugural AI Youth Summit from June 3rd to 21st, 2024 at the Grenada Youth Center. The Division of Youth within the Ministry of Youth and Sports is collaborating with the AI Newbies Camp, which has members in Grenada and the USA. The AI Summit is a transformative event designed to empower young Grenadians, including students aged 18 to 25, with essential skills and knowledge in artificial intelligence. The 3-week summit will commence with an opening ceremony, followed by a comprehensive series of sessions. This initiative promises to give an impactful experience with morning, afternoon, and weekend sessions for approximately 100 participants. The AI Youth Summit is an immersive experience aimed at equipping participants with entrepreneurial insights, practical applications of AI in real-world scenarios, and strategies for leveraging remote work opportunities for sustainable income generation. Through engaging sessions, attendees will explore various aspects of AI, including AI-generated content, emerging technologies in creative industries, ethical considerations, and the integration of AI into business ventures. The National Disaster Management Agency and stakeholders are taking proactive measures for what is described as a super active hurricane season. The predictions from reputable meteorological organizations are for above 20 named storms, An average Atlantic hurricane season has 14 named storms, including 7 hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. The upcoming Atlantic hurricane season expected to have above normal activity with between 17 to 25 storms. Due to factors including high sea surface temperatures, a discussion was held on Wednesday, hosted by NADMA and stakeholders to mark the official start of the Atlantic hurricane season 2024. Jared Tamer, meteorological forecaster, gave the outlook for 2024.
All the reputable agencies and bodies who do seasonal forecast have predicted a super active season. Okay? The Colorado State University, National Hurricane Center, AccuWeather, just to name a few, all are going for above 20 named storms. And that's a lot. Above 20 named storms. Okay? So generally, just take an average, 23 named storms, 11 hurricanes, 7 major hurricanes. Now that's a lot of cyclonic activity. Bear in mind, the average for the last 30 years is 14 storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. Okay.
Tamer noted that there is increased tropical wave activity, which further adds to the urgency of preparedness.
What the experts are saying is that it is unusual to see so much convective activity with tropical waves at this time. This is when they're just starting. But we have some really strong, the three of them are very strong tropical waves, which is unusual. So if this is a sign of things to come, we are in for quite an active and a turbulent season.
Disaster coordinator Dr. Terence Walters added to the conversation by urging the public to stay tuned to credible sources.
We depend on social media, we depend on whatever is available to get the information out. But we do understand that social media is a good thing. We embrace social media. We like social media. We want people to use social media to get the message out for NADMA, okay? But we're mindful that they're like they say, the bad actors, right? We're mindful that there are the bad actors who will definitely try to create panic, create issues for us. And so we depend on our media houses, we depend on our the technical people to provide the support that is necessary, because we have to go with the times. We have to look at what is trending, what is happening, and go with the time, go with the flow to ensure that we do what is necessary to ensure that we stay on top, we stay in control of the narrative. So we as an agency, we have to be in control of the narrative. Okay, so even if there are people trying to put out whatever information, we have to be in control of the narrative. And that's why we say NADMA is the official source for all disaster-related information in Grenada.
The Royal Grenada Police Force is ready to play its part to ensure the safety of all during the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. A comprehensive and integrated approach has been developed to ensure that all systems and procedures are effectively carried out during the season. Assistant Commissioner of Police John Mitchell spoke about some policing strategies that will be implemented in the event of a disaster.
The police force will forward deploy, meaning that we would place officers in certain locations where we think that we can generate a quicker response in the event of any disturbance or anyone who intend to break the law. We hope that no one is planning that. So our forward deployment positions are well established. We continue to review them from the different divisions, and only today we had some discussions with our departments, department head, divisional commanders, the entire executive of the police force, to review and to bring a sense of conclusion to exactly where our forward deployment areas are going to be. You are going to see rollout at key installations, not just installation, but also at vulnerable communities. Sometimes we tend to talk of businesses and not about communities. But where we think that there is vulnerabilities in the communities and there is a need for law enforcement presence, we'll also begin to forward deploy officers in that location.
ACP Mitchell said that the public's response to any natural disaster is important and should complement the efforts of the RGPF and others during the hurricane season.
Certainly we will be there. We will respond promptly. I can give that assurance to the general public that the several departments, divisions, sub-departments will be there for you and respond promptly. But crucially important here is that your own safety and what you do for yourselves and your family is important. The police cannot and factually will not be everywhere at the same time. So persons, we want to advise the general public to take the initiative and think safety and security with regards to your own self, your home, your families.
We'll take another break. More news when we return.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it's crucial for us to conserve water at home. When washing my vehicle, I use a bucket with rainwater that I have stored. This is how I save water. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back. Young people with a keen interest in the country's parliamentary procedures will debate pertinent matters with the start of the parish-level youth parliament sittings, which begins next week. Details in this report by Karen Moraine Alexander.
Young people from Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique who are interested in learning about the parliamentary system are currently undergoing training through the Division of Youth's Parish-Level Youth Parliament program. They are preparing for the upcoming Youth Parliament sittings, which will commence on Wednesday, June 5th at the Grenville Secondary School. Members of both the lower and upper houses of Parliament have been visiting the training sessions to offer support, share their parliamentary experiences, and discuss various concerns with the prospective parliamentarians. On Tuesday evening, the Minister for Youth and Sports, Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, visited the training session at the St. Andrew Methodist School.
It was a really exhilarating experience this afternoon, getting to meet a number of young men and young women, how they feel about the training, how they feel about the parliamentary process, how they feel about politicians and getting into the political arena, etc. A plethora of questions across the board that really jolted me a bit into the reality of what we're dealing with our young people and the kind of redress that they need, the kind of response that they need in order for them to be able to build balanced lives and also make very concrete decisions. So I was pleased with the cadre of young persons that I saw here this afternoon, vying for the top spot in representing their constituency at the national level. And I believe that we're going to have a bumper program this year with the reformative changes that we've made to make it more sustainable and more value added for our young people.
Senator Lacrette highlighted that a common topic of discussion among young people is how politicians balance their numerous responsibilities. He had this to say.
One of the questions I believe that we get a lot of the times, especially when dealing with young people, is how do we balance it? How do we balance family life? How do we balance political life? How do we balance constituency life? How do we balance recreational life? All these things coming together as a melting pot in your life. How and when and where do you actually strike the balance? And I believe it has to do with a high degree of organization and high degree of structure, but you have to be able to erect the kind of teams that you need around you, especially at the constituency level, at the ministry level, so that your attention can be focused not in a divided way, but in a balanced way across your life so that people always get the best of you.
Senator Lacrette emphasized the importance of youth empowerment and encouraged the young participants to fully engage in their learning journey and discussions.
To my youth parliamentarians who are currently in training, we believe in you. We know that you're definitely going to do well, make yourself proud, and the constituents that you represent extremely proud. So all the best, Minister and his entire team at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, as well as all parliamentarians. We're backing you because we believe in the development and the empowerment of young people.
I am Karen Moraine Alexander reporting.
Thank you, Karine. And finally in the news, Grenada's ambassador to China, Ian Marshall, recently attended a ceremony honoring Grenadian students who successfully completed a training course in solar energy technology. During his address, Ambassador Marshall highlighted the significance of this achievement, emphasizing the government's dedication to seeking sustainable energy solutions. He stressed the transition to renewable energy, particularly solar energy, as not merely a necessity but a moral imperative. Ambassador Marshall also commended the graduates, referring to them as ambassadors for sustainable development in Grenada. He encouraged them to share, apply, and expand upon knowledge gained to realize a sustainable future. He also expressed gratitude to the People's Republic of China for providing the opportunity, emphasizing the friendship and cooperation between the two nations founded on mutual respect and shared values, which will continue to be honored and upheld. And with that story, we come to the end of the GIS Evening Report for Friday, May 31st, 2024. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.